Good day, chaps and chapesses. I'm the Rolling Gherkin, and this is Dream Quest. Now, this is a sort of deck-building roguelite adventure game where you fight against enemies and progress through a dungeon and various different floors. And it's really, really good. So yeah, the basic idea is you pick a character. You can choose the wizard, a random one because that's just random if you can't make a decision. The priest, the thief, or the warrior. I believe you can unlock more characters as well as you play through the game. I don't think I've unlocked any. Did I unlock the wizard? I don't think I did. I can't actually remember. But yeah, I believe you can unlock more characters. So the basic idea is you start off with a basic start deck for your character. Every character has a different deck based around how they fight. So the wizard has lots of spells and things where you can gain mana. The warrior has lots of basic attack cards. That's the sort of basic idea. And as you progress through each run, you gain new cards into your deck by beating bosses or finding chests or doing challenges and stuff like that. And you build a better deck as you play through the game. Another thing you'll want to do during that is delete cards from your deck because your starting base cards aren't very good. And the things you fight later on in the game are much harder to kill than what you fight at the start. Who'd have thought it? So when you've got a really powerful enemy against you, don't want to draw a card that does 1 damage when they got 150 health. It's not going to make much of a difference. So you need to know that. So you need to find certain ways of dropping cards. You don't get that many opportunities, so you've got to make sure that you count when you do it. You can also upgrade cards as well as you progress through it. So sometimes it's better to upgrade a card rather than lose a card because it gets better anyway. So this is the worst looking best game you'll ever play. The game was made by a person who has no or very little artistic talent, although still is somehow more than I have. But the actual game they've made outside of that is spectacular. It is a superb game. And it's led to games like Slay the Spire and that sort of stuff. It's a game very much in that ilk. But this is much older than those. This came out a long time ago now. So as you play through the game, you can get new achievements. There's an example of what the art style looks like. It's not great. And by doing certain things, you'll unlock new cards and go into the pool of cards you can get. So your starting cards are always the same, no matter what. Those are the same. But like here, for example, I walked 5,000 steps and I unlocked the dodge card. The dodge card is now available to unlock as I'm doing a run. So that gives you more options potentially, which makes, in theory, will make a run easier. To get better cards more quickly and play through it that way and beat the bosses and get further into the dungeon. Doesn't always work that way. You can still very easily die to a random enemy on the first floor because this game can be quite unfair at times. You can just have a bad time. It's just the nature of these sorts of games. Anyway, we should probably go into the actual game itself. I'm going to play as a wizard because I quite like playing as a wizard. He has some really cool abilities and spells, including some really powerful ones you can unlock. So there's also a story which you can read. It's nothing amazing, doesn't make much of a difference to the game. I'm not going to bother reading it. You can if you want to. You get a bit of lore at the start of each floor. So the first thing you do when you start any floor is you can pick a talent. I think you unlock new talents you can pick as you play through the game as well, possibly. I might be making that up, I'm not sure. So you can give yourself an extra 5 permanent health, so you'll have 5 more health when you start. 5 more maximum health in general. Same with that, you'll get 2 more base mana, so my base mana is 3. That'll make me so my base mana is 5. You can upgrade a card in your deck, which can be very powerful, and gain the ability to flee from a fight. The problem with that is, at least the way I've seen it is, it's not always a great thing to do because you're still going to, that's an enemy that's blocking your path, you're still going to have to kill it to progress in the game, and there's not that many opportunities to heal. So that's never that amazing. I've never used that one. We'll get to what the dungeon looks like in a second, but it means the walls are gone. When I play as a wizard, I tend to pick mana at the start. I think it makes sense. A lot of cards that require mana, so it's a good thing to use it, really. So yeah, this is what the game looks like. It's not a pretty thing to look at. So you make your way through a dungeon. There's enemies in the dungeon which you can click on to fight. So that was a level 1 Usuri tracker. These are health kits, so when you walk over it, you'll heal. Unfortunately, you can't not use it. So I've got maximum health right now, so when I walk on there, I'll waste the health kit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fight this guy first to see what happens. So when you're in a fight, you will draw cards which you can use to fight them. Certain enemies have certain abilities themselves, like these guys are kind of nasty, so the first they'll counter the first card I play. So when I play this card here, it'll do nothing. It'll just get discarded, and that's it. So I do that, nothing happens because that's happened. However, this is my second card, it will do 2 damage. There you go. And that's the end of my turn, that's all I can do. So we'll progress. Then they'll do their thing, where they'll play their cards, that's what they've played. And every enemy you fight, or a lot of enemies you fight, will also have their own unique decks, they'll have their own unique abilities, and their own interesting things that they can do as well. So this is quite easy. I've just made a terrible mistake. I was just about to say, this is an easy fight, and then I played that card, which means it's done nothing, which means I now can't kill them on this turn, because I can only do 1 damage, because I'm a tit. That was a good start. So here, so that was a weird start for the mage. You tend to get a lot more mana cards than you do anything else, because there's a lot of their decks based on magic. But for whatever reason here, I've done it this way. If I play this, it's not going to do anything because it's going to get countered by that. But now I can do 4 damage with that magic attack, which had a mana cost, so it's drained my mana there. Every time you beat an enemy, you get a chest which will have stuff in it. So now I can safely use one of these heals to not waste it. So there's another enemy there. Let's find out what's down here first. We've got a chest, which is great. So this is a place where you can learn a card. So this, for example, will gain 3 mana and deal 3 damage. Now that's better than anything I've got, other than maybe the magic attack I used in a previous turn. So that's the highlight of my deck. That's how I look at my deck. So that's my current deck. I've got those 4 attack cards, 3 mana cards, and that was just 1 of each elemental damage. So just 4 damage. That'll do 1, that'll do 2, etc, etc. And that has a mana cost of 2, so I need to have 2 mana in order to cast it, which makes sense. So sometimes it's better to not take cards, because then you'll fill your deck up with useless cards, or cards that won't be beneficial very often, and that can be the end of a run potentially if you get unlucky with what you've been drawing. I think on this particular occasion it's good to take that. That's going to benefit me long term, so I'll take it. We got quite lucky, we got 2 chests in a row, and Fireball, which is another really good spell. It's quite expensive on the mana front, but later in the game you'll have a lot more base mana, and that's a really powerful card anyway, so we're going to take that as well. I think that's a good idea. So we'll have what else is in the dungeon? Now this is what we want, a monastery. Monasteries are great because it allows you to forget a card. And the first use of it on every monastery you find is free. And I'm going to get rid of this attack 1 card because it's a bit crap and doesn't really help that much, and I'd rather be able to get these cards out more regularly than that, so we're going to forget it. And in fact, we're going to spend another 10 gold to forget the other 1 attack card, because again, it's not very helpful. The price goes up every time you use it, so the first one's free, then it's 10 gold, 25 gold, and so on. And that's the way that bit works. They are relatively rare, but they're a really handy thing to have. So that guy's level 4. So, as I mentioned before, I'm currently level 1. The enemy over here, I think, is also level 1. Yeah, he is. So I should be able to beat that pretty easily. If I was to fight this guy, he'd probably kill me because he's 3 levels higher than me. So we'll leave him for now. Every time you do a fight, you gain experience. So we're going to go this way as well. There's a healing kit there. So here we got a healing pool. The first use of that, I believe, is also free every time. But we got maximum health right now, so we ain't going to use it. We're going to go and punch this bat. I think that's a good idea. So it's got 4 health. This does 8 damage. This does 4 damage. Both of these will kill it. I'm going to go out of our way and use a fireball. He's not got any special abilities. It's a relatively basic enemy, and he's done. And now we've got enough experience to level up. So you'll get a random bonus when you level up. So in this case, I can either upgrade 2 cards to my deck, which is kind of handy, or I can gain shock, which gives me card draw and does 4 damage, and is really good. However, I've already got a few decent attack cards at this stage, so I can always get something like that later on. I'm going to take the upgrade and upgrade my mana boost cards, because I can gain more mana more quickly, and that means I can get more magic out more quickly, which will of course be more beneficial. So I'm going to do that. This is a shop, good as gummy goodness. So again, these will have random things. There's a shock there, so whenever I get 25 gold, I can buy that later if I want it. I can get another Jasper's Jarring Gel or an Acid Lance. So poison works in an interesting way in this game. So when you cast poison, it will just be a debuff on the enemy. It won't do any immediate damage. At the start of their turn, it will do an amount of damage. So Acid Lance 4, well, sorry, Poisoned 4 means they'll take 4 damage in the first turn, but every subsequent turn the poison becomes weaker. So the first time you cast it, they'll take 4 damage, then they'll take 3, then they'll take 2, then they'll take 1, and then the poison will wear off. Poison can be really good because it's constant damage on every turn. It's really powerful in the right situation, but I A, can't afford it right now, and B, don't think I'm going to take it anyway. Another one there, more abilities there. We could get Flame Slash, which is just 2 fire damage, but again, I think right now we've got enough decent attacks that we don't need to take it yet. So we're going to have to go on this health kit here because there's no other way to go other than fight that level 4 guy. But again, we're level 2, so we're not going to fight him. So we're going to fight this level 1 Pixie instead. Again, I've already got enough mana. Oh, hang on. Should probably check that. He generates 3 mana each turn, so that's fine. That's not going to affect me. They're not going to get a chance to generate any mana. They've been defeated. It's nice and easy. Another treasure chest. This is going really well. And we could get another fireball. It's 4 mana, but it's powerful and will be good later in the game. Ooh, do I want to take it now though? I'm going to come back later. So you can choose to discard it and it's removed from the table, or you can leave it to come back later. I'm going to come back later if I get more mana. I don't want it yet because it might be a waste. There's nothing good in this shop. Slice, 1 damage, draw a card. Card draw is always nice, but it's only 1 damage. Your turn starts, all cards in your hand have different names. Effect, draw 3 cards. I don't really know how that's going to work. It scares me. I'm not going to take it. Another shock as well. So shock definitely seems to be quite a popular thing in this on this particular floor. Oh wait, the layout of this floor without the clouds, it's random every time what layout you'll get. I think that might affect the sort of enemy you get. I might be wrong. It might just be based on the floor. It might just be purely aesthetic. I'm not actually certain. So that guy's level 3. We might be able to beat him, but it's a bit of a push, so we're going to fight this level 2 Goblin Hoarder. Now, if I remember rightly, he's got some really nasty cards that he can play. But we're going to do 4 damage nice and early on and gain some mana. There's no limit to the amount of cards you can play on a turn, with the exception of mana and action points. So as long as you get enough mana, you can play as many magic cards as you want. Some cards have action points, which is this timer. Which is this timer here. I completely forgot what it's actually called. Hourglass! Hourglass! That's the word I was looking for. So with this hourglass here, obviously I can do 1 action point. So if I had any cards that had action points, I could use that many. But I don't think I have anything with action points yet as the mage. I don't think he has any to start with. And to end your turn, just click on it. So we can finish him off on this turn with this fireball because we've got enough mana, and we'll end him there. So this one's going quite well so far. We've had a bit of luck. I'm sure that won't last. Now, see, the problem we have right now is we've not quite leveled up, and we've got 2 level 3 enemies. So this might go wrong very quickly, potentially, if we're very unlucky. Because this sometimes is the way it works. Sometimes you'll just have powerful enemies in the way that you can't get past, and you're just going to have a bad time. So we're going to try fighting this Wyvern, and hope it all goes well. So it's a nice amount of damage in the first turn, doing 6 damage. Hopefully we'll get some good card draw. We do. We can't use a fireball, but not got enough mana, and we've got no mana to draw. So I'm going to cast that instead. And luckily, we managed to kill it, and that has leveled us up. So we got a new combat ability, which we can use in the fight. Well, we'll just gain 10 mana, but then it's got a cooldown of 2 fights. We can gain another 2 mana here as well, or we can have an Acid Lance. I think I'm going to take the base mana, because we don't actually have that much that can generate mana yet. So I think, yeah, we've only got 3 mana generation cards. Oh no, 4, we got Flame Charge, so 4 mana generation cards. I think we've just been unlucky not drawing them. too much. I think we've got a reasonable deck there. We've got a decent amount of mana and decent damage, even without mana. We'll see. We'll fight this Griffin. So there's some mana draw, and we'll just do 8 damage straight off the bat. It's a nice big hit there. See, this is the problem on this turn. We've destroyed all our mana cards, so we can't do any damage this turn. Not that it really matters that much, because he's gained a take no damage ability. I think that's from one of the cards he played, maybe? Apparently not. I must have been played in the previous turn, I don't know. Anyway, so the take no damage thing's gone now. It was a 1 turn thing, and we can finish him off with either of these pretty easily. And there we go, he's done. And let's open the path to another chest. We've had so many chests this time around, so we can take 3 gold, which isn't great. Static charge, which is mana and card draw. Might take that. And gain action points. There's no point taking action points because we don't have anything that needs action points. Maybe could do with a bit more mana generation, and it's got card draw because drains the next mana card in your deck. So that could be another mana generation thing, or it could be a mana attack. So that's actually kind of good. We'll take that because it's card draw and mana generation, which is nice and strong. Right, that's the boss, level 4 boss. So we're not going to fight him yet because we're not a high enough level. And the bosses obviously are harder than the other enemies. That's just the way it works. So again, we're blocked off from anything that's our level. So we're going to fight this little warrior that's a level above us. We've got maximum health, we've got a decent deck, we might have a decent chance. The thing is, he's got a 20% chance just to not take damage, which is from that equipment, bit of equipment there. So you have equipment slots too. You get equipment cards, which you, if you don't have a base equipment slot, you have to draw, and then you play it, and then it'll be active. So, for example, he's got these 2 by default. So every time he does 1 damage, so he'll do 1 damage every 2 attack cards he plays in 1 turn. So it's just bonus damage, and that gives him a 20% chance of dodging attacks. I can gain equipment cards too, but I don't have any yet. We'll come to that if we get any. So he didn't dodge that one, and he didn't dodge that one, so it's going well so far. Now we've just got mana, but we've got card draw with this one too. We're actually just drawing another mana card. I'm pretty sure that can draw spell cards as well. I might be wrong, I'm not making things up. We'll find out. We've got 17 mana, so we've got plenty of attack on the next turn. And he's not dodged that one either, so that's really good. It's going suspiciously well. He's doing a lot of damage there. And he's going to dodge this. I can see him dodging this. No, he didn't. Great. Is it just physical? No, we just got lucky, basically. He didn't dodge anything. And we've leveled up. And when you level up, your health refills. So that's really handy. So that'll be good to fight the boss. We can take another fireball, but I don't think we will. I think we're going to upgrade another 2 cards because we want as much mana draw, and we're going to upgrade a damage card as well, so we can deal more damage. Let's see what else is over here. There's another health kit, and that's it. So we've got shops to look at again. So let's look at the shops. Was there anything beneficial to buy? Possibly shock. Because it's quite mana intensive, but we've got a decent amount of mana generation, and it will draw a spell card. I don't know. Oh, look what we got here. Shock again. Acid Lance might be good because it's just bonus damage in every turn, and you can sometimes finish them. You know what? I'm going to take it. I'm going to take the poison because sometimes you can not quite have enough damage, but you've already poisoned them, and you can finish them off on their turn, and you win the fight, and it can be really powerful. So we'll see. Anyway, this is the boss fight. This is where it could all go horribly wrong. Potentially. You never know. So, what are his abilities? So he takes no damage from air. The only thing we have that does air damage is this. It'll still do the other damage, so we'll still do 3 damage anyway, so that's not too bad. And takes half damage from physical. We're playing the mage, so we don't have that many physical attacks, so we might be good actually. Let's gain some mana. I think that might just draw mana cards then. Well, yeah, it says mana card, so it probably doesn't mean spells. But that's fine, because now we've got 18 mana, so that should last the fight. So that'll unfortunately only do 3 damage rather than the usual 4. And that, again, it takes half damage to physical, so this will only do... I'll say that again, because that was a bit garbled. He only takes half damage for physical, which means that he'll only take 1 damage on that rather than 2. Let's gain some more mana, which allows us to use the fireball, which is a good hit again. But now we've got no mana. But this gains 3 and does damage, so that's really good. That will not do enough damage, and neither will this, but at least we got the mana for it. And he's on a 6 health. The bosses are a sudden jump in difficulty. Sometimes you can just get very unlucky. So we've got 8 mana, which is enough to use both of these. We've got poison, which could finish him off. So it's going to do 4 damage at the start of his next turn. So, in fact, as I was saying before, how things can finish him off on their turns, this will do it to him. His turn starts, and the poison finishes him off without me having to do anything. Poison's really powerful. So, we've leveled up from beating the boss, so now we can take either Meteor, which is 20 damage, but it's for 10 mana, and we don't have enough mana generation for it, or Mana Surge, which gains us 10 mana. I'm going to take Mana Surge, and hopefully we'll get a Meteor later on, because I don't think we've got enough that generates masses of mana yet, so we're going to take that. Once you've beaten the boss, they unveil a staircase, which allows you to go to the next floor. So we've completed the level, and there's nothing much else there to do. I don't think there's anything in the shops I particularly want. So we go to the next floor. You get a bit more story. We're not going to read that. And you can choose a talent. There's a few extra ones available now. So we can just gain 30 gold, which I don't really want to do. We can gain an action point, but we've got nothing with action points, so that will be a bit of a waste. Gain an equipment slot. So, as I was talking about equipment before, you can have equipment slots. So, normally when you get an equipment card, you have to first draw it and then play it. Once you've played it, it's active for the rest of the fight. However, if you have an equipment slot, it's active. It'll be active from the start, unless you have more than one equipment card. If you have 2 equipment cards, you pick the equipment card you want to be active at the start of the battle. The other one you have to draw. You can have more than 1 equipment slot, but you need to get another one of these. Could gain another 5 total health, which I've not gained much health yet. I might take that because 35 health is not a lot. Could gain more mana. Could level a card up. Playability or walls. I'm gonna gain more health because I'm struggling a bit for my amount of health right now. There's a level 5 enemy, but first of all, we've got a few more empty slots to run into. Let's see if there's anything else about. There's a level 6 Wisp, which we won't fight yet because that's scary. Oh! Well, that's the thing that sometimes happens. You can get ambushed. And he's level 5 Siri Ambusher. So he's going to counter the first card again. Ooh, I could have done without that happening. I'm going to sacrifice my attack to gain some mana and poison him. I think that was the right way of doing it. Because now we got good amounts of mana. Okay. Right, we're going to waste the mana, do 3 damage, and do another 4 damage. And he's going to take another 3 damage at the start of his next turn. Right. Oh, we got it. Play that. We'll play that. And he's dead. That could have gone wrong. When you get ambushed like that, sometimes it can just be you run over. You can just get that unlucky. So, we got there. I got level 5. Let's just head over this way, see if there's anything interesting. There might be a chest or something. You never know. We might get a bit of luck. Oh, we've got a altar. Now, I can't remember exactly what these do. A rough grey altar leans against the wall. Dried blood cakes in the cracked and pitted stone. Obscured by a thin layer of dust, above etched into the wall sits a sigil, a purple pentagram whose lines seem to squirm as you watch them beneath its carved message. Why is that beneath got a capital B? I am Gauss, god of power, the corrupt, the noble, the depraved. All my children, speak my name, sacrifice for my gifts. A fate made me tongues your mind. You seem to remember that Gauss will let you draw an additional card, but add curses to your deck. So, yeah. So I'll draw an additional card at the start of each turn, but I'll also gain curse cards. Curse cards are literally just dead cards. So if you draw a curse card, it's just dead weight in what you've drawn. So I'm not going to take that, because it's literally just in your deck. You'll have some cards called curse, and they don't do anything. They just take up a slot when you play a card, basically. So there's a level 7. It's an elite as well. So yeah, you got elite enemies, which are... Oh, he's technically level 7, but he's a more powerful level 7. So we're not going to fight him yet either. We're going to fight this one. I'm going to fight this brownie because that's the only thing we can really fight that we've got the right chance of beating. But the problem is they've got a 50-50% chance of a card just not having any effect. And it's not in terms of attacking it, it's just I might play a card and it just half the time it won't work. So let's hope we gain some mana. We did. Good. Let's do some attack. No. 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 They countered it with that. So they took no damage. Luckily Flame Charge did and we gained some more mana. So that's just the way that particular enemy works. Sometimes it will just counter everything all day long. Let's hit some damage. Nope. They countered that attack. Let's try a fireball. Nope. They countered that as well. That's good. So no more damage. It's going now they've done loads to me. I can see this potentially being where the run ends because it's just going to be a bad time. Let's try Acid Lance. They've been poisoned. So at least they're going to take some damage. But they're doing quite a lot to me. I really hope these attacks land. Good. And let's hope this one lands as well. Yes, it did. Good. We might get through it. Maybe. If we're lucky. Let's gain some mana. And let's just hope one of these two attacks hits. If one of them hits, good. They're dead. Sometimes that fight can just go down a really bad path where you just can't hit them. It does happen. What level was this guy? Level 6. Oh. I missed that. There's a shop there. What we got? So, exile equipment or prayer card. So we can just delete an equipment card from an enemy. That could be powerful. See, we got quite a lot of... This is the equipment slot. So, an equipment card, rather. So we'll have to draw it to play it, because we've got no equipment slots. But if we do, all the mana we gain does bonus damage. And we got a decent amount of mana to draw now. So maybe we'll take that. It's 35 gold. And we can prevent the first 3 damage taken with another equipment slot. I'm going to get that. I think that might be good. I'm just worried we're getting too many cards in the deck now. Hopefully this doesn't come back to bite us on the arse. Now, my health's very low. I'm going to go to the healing pool. Heal the max of 3. I'm going to have to, because this person might kill me otherwise. So, let's see how this one goes. We can play both of these, which is nice. Do a good amount of damage. That's a good first turn. So, when I play an equipment slot, it becomes active. So now, for every 2 mana I gain, I'll deal 1 damage. Now this Mana Surge is going to deal quite a decent amount of damage. Puts down to 1 health. And there we go. I'm glad I took that. I think that's going to become useful. So we leveled up. We can take Meteor this time for 20 damage, or another 10 mana gain. I'm going to take Meteor because 20 damage is a lot. And can be very helpful. Can win you a fight. Ah, damn it. A lot of health gets in the route of this path. But that's just the way it is, unfortunately. I've got another shop. Is there anything good here? So poison 6. That could be really good. Your opponent's hand. Choose a card from it. Discard it. Maybe. No, don't think so. And damage reduction. No. So let's look at the deck. The deck's getting quite big, and I don't want to have too many mana cards I can't play. Just because I've not got enough draw. I might come back for Acid Rain, because it's 5 mana to play it. If I get some more mana draw, or more base mana or something, I might come back for it. But for now, we'll leave it. I'll play that staff, before I forget. Do a fireball. Do a Gyra's Jarring Jolt. So what have we got here? I've got the next 3 physical damage. I they got that. And 20 damage, yeah. 20% chance to dodge. But we can do some damage with that, but they're dodging it. No, they didn't dodge it, sorry, they were just not taking damage. Well, the staff's proven its worth so far, so that's good. We've got more mana draw too, so it's got another shield again, but we should do a decent amount of damage to it. No we don't, because he's just discarded my staff. Did he play a card that discarded it? Yes, he did. He destroyed my equipment. What a piece of shit. Bedward. Oh, that's annoying. But It's okay, because I've got this. And now he's dead. Oh well, what a shame for him. Still not leveled up. So now the way that the healing pool works now is it costs the amount of health I don't have to heal me, basically. Or I can heal one at a time. So yeah, I've got that like that. I'm going to spend that gold to go back to full health, because I've got quite a lot of gold. So let's fight this guy. We might be good. Oh, we've got... So this one limits how much time you've got to take a turn as well. There's a timer there. So yeah, yeah, he attacks quickly, which is annoying. I forgot that was going to count as my first card. So we'll finish him off now with that, and he's dead. Yeah, sometimes you've got a little time limit to play a card. Or to finish your turn, rather. Which can be a bit annoying. So, we're going to fight this guy, as he's level 6. And he takes no damage from physical attack, so they're going to do absolutely nothing at all. So good job on playing the mage, whose most of his attacks are magic. So he's going to take full damage from those, rather than, none. Oh, and we have got very little health, and we're probably going to die on this turn now. Yeah, I probably should have gone and healed before we came into this fight. I think this might be the run over, unless I am exceptionally lucky on this turn. I'm not lucky. And that's it! The game over. Sometimes, that's just the way it goes. I had the wrong things in the first turn, didn't do enough damage, and now he's killed me. And I didn't draw like a meteor or something, which would have ended it. And that's it. It's over. I could spend achievement points to... So you see, I could spend my achievement points to restart my last level up. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep my achievement points. But still, right, so there, we've gained it. So now that run's over, points I've got. I've now unlocked the invisibility card for later runs because I've killed 20 Fury. So that's good. And that's the run over. We're going to start again now. And that's just the way that Dream Quest works sometimes. You can just be very, very unlucky. And I think I made a few mistakes. I'm still learning the game. I'm making silly mistakes. I probably took too many cards too quickly without enough mana draw, so I didn't draw the right cards at the right time. Probably didn't help. But yeah, it's all part of the learning, isn't it? Anyway, this has been Dream Quest. And I'll try and make it not be nearly 2 years between videos next time. But we all know it probably will be. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Maybe. See ya.